Hello friends and welcome to Getting Lippy with. My name is Imogen Hudson and this is a space where we can vent, chat and share our daily struggles in the hopes of helping others deal with theirs. Here at Getting Lippy with, there is no problems with opening up and sharing our problems. So I'm super excited. Make sure you subscribe to all things Getting Lippy with and stay tuned for your chance to be involved in a podcast. So grab your cuppa, chocolate, biscuits or whatever floats your boat, because whoever you are, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, let's get lippy. I'm also super excited that EOS are actually sponsoring this episode. I'm super grateful. I love their lip balms. How fitting that a lip balm company are actually sponsoring this episode. It's amazing. Yay! And also I am even more excited because for Getting Lippy episode 2, we are with the beautiful Soph from Soph Does Nails.
Hello.
I'm so excited you're here.
I'm so excited to be here.
And you look beautiful.
Oh, stop it.
I saw you at the train station, I was like, oh wow, she is glowing. So if you don't subscribe to Soph already, I'm sure you already do, but she is amazing over on YouTube. Honestly, if I want an honest, real, open chat about anything to do with makeup, I trust Soph's opinion.
Oh,
you never lie.
you.
You're always like, I know that you're going to give an honest opinion. That's why I was so grateful when you reviewed my makeup. I was like, oh my God, she likes it because you wouldn't put it on your channel if you didn't.
Yeah, that is true.
Yay, okay. So for this episode today with Soph, we are going to be talking about anxiety. And it's something which a lot of people struggle and deal with. So I'm really excited. You make sure you stay tuned for later on because we have some questions coming in from all of you and we are going to be answering them. I feel like I'm not an agony aunt or Oprah, but I feel like we can be today.
Oprah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we can be relatively good at giving advice just because we both kind of experienced a few things in life. So
actually, that's one thing. When I first met you, I remember feeling like really comfortable to talk to you, and I remember saying to you like a couple of times after I met you, I was like, Soph, I've got anxiety about being here at an event, and I was like, I felt so comfortable to be able to tell you that. Yeah. And some people you don't feel like you can talk to about that, but with you, I just feel like because you're so open about the fact that you were shy in front of the camera, weren't you? Like at the beginning, you were quite shy and you preferred being in front of the camera than being out and about. Yeah. And I just think it's amazing because you do so much. Like you do. Yeah. You like, for someone who, I remember you telling me you have like a bit of anxiety. Yeah. You like to even come here today and do this. I'm like,
I know. I've done so much.
You have. You went to Miami recently.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, wow.
I know. So I mean, I've been so much better recently, which is great. But I'm hoping that, I don't know, talking about my experiences can kind of inspire other people to also, show them that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah.
And I think that with our job and stuff, with doing YouTube and whatever, I think people then also assume you're the most confident person in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
And actually sometimes it's much easier just talking to the camera and feeling like they're with you. But I don't know about you, but one thing I will say is I get more anxious around people that I know, like around my subscribers. We've been to meetups together and I feel like I'm so much more confident around my subscribers, but like other influencers and stuff, I get so nervous.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Because with your subscribers, when you're kind of meeting people for the first time, I feel like I have this kind of I go into this confident mode where I'm kind of like, oh, it's fine. Like all of these people, we're just meeting and I don't know, you can kind of put on this confident front, but then when it's people that you know that they know who you are and you know who they are, and there's kind of a pressure to be
like joined in this group and you're like, oh.
It's scary.
And like I think with the subscribers, you already know hopefully
they like you.
That they like you. And then you go to events and you're like, what if they don't like you? I think that's one thing that I used to get really scary, and I just find now I probably don't go to that many events.
Yeah, neither do I.
Do you not?
I haven't been to any in a while.
No, I just feel like unless I know like you're going, or like if I know that I can take my fiance or something like that. Yeah. I mean, I've taken my dad before. Like,
but everybody loves your dad.
I know. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you were there to be makeup. Oh my God, that was so fun. Okay, cute. So basically what we're going to do now is very exciting stuff. Some of you have actually sent in some of your questions and I'm so grateful to the Hun Hotline phone. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see we have a little phone here and it's very cute. It's actually in the shape of lips. Like what? So cute. And we also have sweets to the right of it, which are just, I need a sweet. But anyway, let's talk to our best friends. So basically, I'm really grateful that anyone sent in their questions and we are going to now play those questions out loud and we're going to sit here and just have a girly chit chat. So for your chance to feature in other episodes, all you need to do is email hello@gettinglippywith.com to us. Okay, so let's talk about anxiety. I mean, I shouldn't really be saying like let's talk about anxiety, but I feel like one thing I will say that I'm really grateful that you've come, and I'm grateful to be able to talk about this, is I feel like things aren't talked about enough.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think talking about it is the best way to kind of help spread awareness and get other people to feel comfortable talking about it. And talking about it makes you feel better about it.
Yeah.
So,
because I'm sure a lot of people probably look at you and they're like, oh, Soph, like, you're so, like, I think you're amazing. I'm like, she's amazing. She's built this whole community on her channel and all these things. People must look at you and think, she lives this life, she's never going to have anxiety.
Yeah.
And you can be anyone and have anxiety.
Exactly.
You could be, you know, it's not about how much, you know, followers you have or how much money you have in the bank. It's nothing to do with that. Every single person, one way or another, will experience some kind of form of anxiety. Yeah. And I think that it's so important, especially with now, with maybe social media and like reality TV. Yeah. It's coming up more and more that, you know, so mental health and anxiety and things are something we need to talk about.
Yeah, and no one is safe from it.
At all.
Like, no one is excluded. It doesn't matter what you do. It can affect literally anyone.
Yeah. I remember I was talking to this boy the other day and he was like, the Mike guy from Love Island. I can't say his last name, so I don't want to be disrespectful. So Mike from Love Island, he actually took his own life. Yeah. And this boy said to me, I can't believe he did it. He had everything. He was good looking. He had all these girls. And I was like, but I don't think that is everything. Yeah. He was obviously not happy in his own life. And it's so devastating that I feel like if we spoke about things more and said it's okay to feel like this, then more people would speak instead of 100%. Suffering in silence.
Yeah, completely agree with you there. I think mental health in general, I think it is being talked about more these days, which is really good because when I was a teenager, it definitely was not really spoken about at all. And I think now it definitely is getting better, but I still think there needs to be more discussion about it just in general.
People in the public eye, I think, as well, because then people don't think, oh, on social media, like, I'm going to look at her photo and she's going to be really happy. Yeah. It's not like that. Yeah. A photo is a second of your time. Yeah. Okay, so really exciting. That leads on to us answering some of your questions, and I cannot wait. So let's play question 1.
Hello, honeys. You have reached Hun Hotline. Please leave your message after the tone.
Imogen, it's Courtney. My question is, on social media, are there things that help, like your anxiety, like help you make feel better when you're feeling anxious and like upset, but also like what bad things do you think there are on social media that kind of trigger your anxiety? Because for me, I know that when I'm feeling quite anxious and whatever, I like to go on social media and I like to speak to people that over the internet, and I feel like it's an easier way to talk to people sometimes, but obviously when you're on social media a lot, it kind of can build up your anxiety. So yeah.
Thank you so much for your question. I'm so grateful. Okay, so just to sum up your question, you said what helps on social media, like, and are there any positives that help you on social media kind of, you know, deal with your anxiety, and also what is the negativity about social media which don't help with anxiety? So I mean, what's that for you really?
I think sometimes when I'm feeling anxious, I do actually find that watching people's videos on YouTube actually helps me, just because it takes my mind off it a bit. And I know that you said that you like watching vlogs. I also like watching vlogs. I find them really relaxing.
I feel like you've got a friend in the room. Yeah. Because then you just feel like if I'm doing something, like let's say I'm actually cleaning my room, I feel like someone's with me and I'm like, okay, chill out. Yeah.
And it's kind of like you have someone to talk to, but I mean you're not talking to them, but they're kind of talking to you.
I'm like, oh, I relate to that.
Yeah. But also just videos in general, any kind of light-hearted videos that can take my mind off things, I find really help me to just kind of unwind and calm down a bit, which is really good.
I agree with that. I think that also, I'm going to be honest with you, this is my own personal preference, but I love watching crime documentaries. I love watching crime dramas and stuff like that. And I love watching YouTubers that talk about it. Yeah. However, if I have anxiety and I'm feeling a little bit low, I can't watch anything negative. Because it's like it thrives on it, the negativity. And I'm like, oh, I don't feel great right now. Like, I'm going to be honest, I just feel like I like watching people who make me feel lighthearted and make me feel less worried about things.
Yeah, for sure. Something super chilled, relaxing, something that's kind of upbeat. Not necessarily upbeat, I mean just
I don't need someone that's like me, really in your face. I just need someone like just casual, doing what they do. Yeah, because I just think that you can then feel like you're taken away from the space of anxiety. I think when I was younger, I'm not gonna lie and sugarcoat it and pretend I know loads about anxiety, because I don't. But when I was younger, I used to think that worrying and anxiety were quite different. However, now when I worry about something, that's when my anxiety comes. I think. Like a lot of people don't have worries and they have anxiety. They sometimes just wake up with knots in their stomach. But I think mine is very much triggered to what I'm worrying about.
Yeah, they can definitely be linked.
Yeah, because I think also, like, before I started YouTube, I remember like watching other YouTubers and they'd be saying they had anxiety, and I remember being probably very narrow-minded about it and being a bit like, maybe, you know, what we're trying to sort of aim to get away from, in the sense that I sort of looked at it like, oh, how can you have anxiety? Like, you've got a really good like setup and all these things, and actually I think that that's unfortunately just a misconception of people.
For sure.
Because it's anxiety, like we were saying earlier, can just be from anything, and it doesn't, and especially in YouTube, I think it's really heightened my anxiety. Because I worry that I've said the wrong thing. I worry that I haven't been active enough. Like, I get worried if I go on holiday and I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to be posting because otherwise people are going to forget. Don't you? Like, I definitely put pressure on myself, and I think that that's my main anxiety. Like, I don't really get anxiety about my relationship or anything like that. I get more anxiety about like social interactions with other YouTubers probably, and that's me being honest. I get nervous about it. And that's probably, I guess the negatives are probably if I sit on it too much. So I do my very best to, like you say, watch vlogs and stuff like that, but don't sit on Instagram, because I sometimes feel like with Instagram, you see a photo, you don't get to know, unless someone has like a really good like stories. I was saying I like watching stories where they're like a lot of stories, but I feel like unless you just look at a photo and they have a big caption or something like that, you can't really gauge and be able to sort of escape. So my escapism for like social media and anxiety is definitely just putting myself into like another world of someone else's world, like oh, that's what they did this week, so maybe I should stop worrying because other people have. And sometimes people mention like, oh, this week I felt a bit, you know, low, whatever. It makes you feel better. You're like, okay,
because you can relate to it.
And you don't feel like you're so on your own. Do you know what I mean?
And also as well, I think with Instagram, especially sometimes, also with YouTube as well, but more so with Instagram, if you're following people and you're scrolling down your Instagram feed and it's just making you feel bad about yourself or low or negative, you don't have to follow that person.
No.
You can just unfollow them. If there are people that you're following that aren't making you feel good and are making you feel negative, then it's fine to just unfollow them.
That's what I think. I'm so like that, because I think that if you have something negative in any way, shape or form, if it's on social media, if it's someone in your life, you are fully enabled, like you are able, I mean, to cut them out. Like if there's someone in your life that's draining you, or like, I think especially growing up, I'm definitely a sensitive person. Like I hold on to things a lot, and things do affect me probably more than they should. Like I get attached to friends quickly, and I'm like, I think they're my best friends straight away. And I think that when friendships naturally they don't progress the way you want them to, or relationships, I think that I get really sad about it, and then it eats away at me, and then maybe builds more like anxiety about that. So I'm like, oh, maybe just don't make any friends then, because you know, like that's how you feel sometimes, like you feel, and you know, I'm 26 and I feel like that. I think that's normal. But I just think that I think we should be able to be in control of our life.
Absolutely.
Like if you were in a bad, I think we're very easy to cut relationships out. Like if you're in a bad relationship, you're like to your friend, like you shouldn't be in that relationship. But we've all had friends that maybe have been worse than a boyfriend have been, you know, and you've kind of let that friend stay in your life.
That's very true.
And you've been like, let's stay friends, even though you're not that great of friend, you know. But I think definitely with social media, the best way for me is, like you say, cut the ties of what makes you feel negative. Follow people that make you feel happy. Like you don't have to. Also, I was saying earlier that there's this tool on Instagram, you can see how long you've been. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, it's awful.
Well, I'm actually alright. I think I'm alright. My average time is 1 hour 39 minutes for someone that does things like that. I think that's quite good.
Mine's probably way higher. It's so bad.
I tend not to really scroll.
Yeah.
Like that's why sometimes I feel bad I don't see everyone's posts, but I just feel like I'd rather upload my things and just take myself away from any negative energy.
And I think that's fine. Honestly, I think that's fine to not be spending 100% of your time on social media.
Yeah. Like when you were on holiday, when you went to Miami, did you feel like you had to be on it?
Yeah.
And it's different times.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
you have to figure out when's the best time to post and all of this. But when I do go on holiday with my family, I try to cut down as much as I can and just take some time off and just relax. Like I did that at Christmas and it was honestly so nice.
Yeah, I remember you saying you just wanted to enjoy your family.
Yeah.
I think it's so important that we do that because otherwise you become fixated and maybe that makes everyone's anxiety a bit worse.
Yeah.
Okay, cute. Thanks for that question.
Hi Imogen, what would you say are your best 5 tips for coping with anxiety?
Oh, I love your voice. You're so enthusiastic. I love it. My hun, thanks so much for the question. Okay, so top 5 tips. Okay, I feel like we listed some in the last one. So top 5 tips for anxiety. What would you say is one of yours that really helped you?
I think one of the best things for me is when I'm feeling anxious is to have something to distract me. A lot of the time I listen to music and I find it everywhere I go because a lot of the time my anxiety is travel related. I always take my headphones with me and I find that helps me so much because when I'm listening to music it kind of allows my brain to switch off and focus on something else, and then because if I just sit there in silence and I'm constantly watching all my surroundings and watching all the people around me, even though it's still really good to be aware of your surroundings obviously, but if I'm just focusing on all of that then
the anxiety
my brain kind of spirals and that's all I'm thinking about. Whereas when I'm listening to music or even a podcast or something, then slide that one in. Then it genuinely helps my brain to just think of other things and take my mind off it, so that definitely helps me.
Because you listen to the lyrics as well. Like you kind of go with the lyrics because you take yourself away. I love music so much. I honestly think when I'm on a train or like when I'm in a car, when I've got my headphones on, I think I'm in a music video. I'm like, I actually, when I listen to the script and I'm looking outside and it's raining, I'm like, I feel like I'm in a sad, honestly, it makes me happy. I think that what I do really for my anxiety is I like to, I know it sounds really weird and you're going to be like, what? But my mum always says to me, especially when I was in hospital and when I was ill, sometimes we look in the mirror and we analyse things and we're like, oh, I look rubbish or I feel rubbish, and that builds more anxiety and we're like, oh, am I changing? My body's changing, all these things. I don't need makeup to feel happy at all. I don't need makeup to make me feel pretty or beautiful because I don't think it is about that. It's about feeling beauty within. But doing makeup, like putting makeup on my face, makes me feel like I'm away from things. Like, honestly, using makeup, I'm like, it's not about going out and wanting people to think I look nice because I don't care. Most of the time, I am literally in joggers, no makeup, loving life. I mean, I meet most of my subscribers and I'm like, you must think I'm a catfish. Like, you must think I look awful right now. But putting on makeup and like, because sometimes it takes me like 40 minutes when I'm like really doing my makeup properly. And that is an instant, like, bye, see you later. You're not thinking about anxiety anymore. You're thinking about having to do that cut crease.
That's very true, actually. I also think makeup is a good distraction as well because it gives you something else to focus on. And then also as well, I find that when I wear makeup, it makes me feel a bit more confident. And it's kind of, I was going to say it's like a mask, but...
You feel like a different person.
Yeah.
You feel like you've got like a little second skin. And it just brings my positivity up a little bit and I kind of think, oh yeah, this is fun. I'm enjoying doing this because I really enjoy doing my makeup. So it kind of do you think that it helps you when you film as well? Because you're away from your phone. You can't be thinking about other things because you've got to film. And it's just you and the camera. So that definitely I think that's one thing that does definitely help me, like having not the pressure, but like I always want to be regular. I never want to miss an upload. Like I always want to try and be, consistent for my subscribers. So I think that if I know in my head, Imogen, you have to film, like get your stuff together because you are not letting your huns down. Like you're not letting your subscribers down. So I think that pressure makes me feel better. Because I'm like, right, get in front of that camera, baby girl, and be like yourself. Because otherwise I can sit there and like my mum always says, you get into a rut and you can kind of just feel rubbish about loads of things. But I think that if you try and turn your day into a positive and just kind of be like, right, I'm not gonna let this anxiety win, then it can kind of
I think just anything that makes you feel a bit more positive. So it doesn't necessarily have to be makeup. If you're not into that, that's totally fine. But if you just want to, I don't know, maybe just chill, do a face mask.
Yeah, face masks.
Watch your favourite TV show. Do, I don't know, something like one of your favourite hobbies, whatever that is. Like, I don't know, painting or just anything like that.
When I was younger and I had anxiety, my doctor told me to do paint by numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved it. It was so therapeutic. It really passed my time. And I know that some members of my family, like when they get anxiety, they do puzzles.
Yeah.
Like, it can be anything for you. Yeah, like you said, you don't have to wear makeup to like take anything off. But you should do something that you enjoy, that passes the time, that changes your mindset.
Yeah, it just kind of engages a different part of your brain. Yeah, which is really good.
I agree with that. And I love face masks. They chill me out.
Yeah, same.
What else do I like? I also like a deep pillow spray. Like, I got this lavender one, and last night I sprayed it and I was out for the count. Like, sometimes I struggle to sleep because of my anxiety.
I need to try that. Yeah, me too.
No, honestly, try this deep... I don't know what it's called. It's from This Works, I think.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
It is actually good. Like,
Is it?
This works. It actually does work.
Wow,
Yeah?
who knew?
Cute. What else? One more. I think we've mentioned like 4.
Yeah.
One more that helps with anxiety. I would say speaking to my family.
I was going to
friends.
say the same. Like, make sure that you... well, I mean, you don't have to tell people, but I would definitely recommend telling people because for me personally, as soon as I told my mum what was going on in my mind, I suddenly felt this kind of sense of relief, and I thought, okay, that's a bit of a weight lifted off my shoulders.
not going crazy.
Now somebody else knows and they can help me, and I've kind of got somebody there that if I am feeling particularly anxious one day, I can be like, oh, can I just talk to you about this? And talking about it with somebody makes it so much easier, in my opinion.
I also think that with parents, it's you're really lucky because they've been through everything you've been through, so they do understand. But some people that don't have really close relationships with their parents, there are so many helplines, there's so many different things that you can go on Google and literally search and find so many, because honestly, even speaking to someone over the phone, it can just really, like, it releases this thing where you're like, okay, I'm finally not building all this anger, pain, worry all up in my body, and it's like, I can now finally breathe. I'm like, okay.
Just to kind of just speak it out and release it is just going to make you feel so much better, I think, anyway.
I remember when I was younger, actually, I was in ballet, and my ballet teacher used to say to me, Imogen, breathe. I would honestly be so worried about doing the ballet routine right. I'd be sucking in my stomach, not breathing. And my mum used to be like, I'm actually worried about it. But it was my anxiety, and we all have different things that, you know, whatever. And my teacher actually coming to me at the end of it and being like, is this something that you want to talk about, that you're constantly, you know, worrying? And I told her, and I was like, I don't even really like you as a ballet teacher. I think you're not very nice. But speaking to you about it, I was like, wow. Like, she was quite cold, but she was actually really warm in this chat. And I was like, do you know what? I feel a bit better. And even though she wasn't a really great person to speak about, I still felt like I could just put my drama onto her. And I was like, see you later. Bye. I'll leave you with that one. Thanks so much for your question. Let's go on to the next one.
I think I have anxiety, but I don't want to make a fool out of myself if I tell anyone.
Oh my God, that's actually really hurt my heart, like hearing that you feel like that. And like your little voice, that's so sad. But actually, the fact that you've actually just sent that message and you are now on the podcast with us, that is amazing that you're opening up and like actually saying, I think I've got anxiety.
100%.
Because I definitely think, like, as I said, I don't really know if you can't diagnose it for someone else. Like, you know, in your body, you can feel the anxiety kind of building up. And actually, the fact that you're worried about telling people is completely normal.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Oh, my gosh,
Like, especially, I think it's easier to talk to people that are your family. Because you know that, like, when I was younger, they're the first people I told. But actually, within peer groups, I think there's a lot of pressure to be, like, the okay one, like, you're cool, like, you're strong, you're confident, you're all these things, when actually you are you. Your makeup and your DNA is completely different to other people, and it's okay to say, hey, by the way, girls, like, I've got anxiety today, or like, I'm worrying about something, because you are human. Like, everyone has feelings, and a lot of the time, the people that you're worried to tell, they probably have anxiety too.
Probably.
But sometimes maybe they have this facade, like, I'm Mrs. Okay and I'm Mrs. I am. I don't have any worries. But actually they do. You know?
And I think as well, if you're worried about making a fool of yourself, I don't know whether it's to your friends, your family, or whatever. But if you tell your friends about it and they are kind of judgmental and they're not supportive, then I think it kind of shows you who your true friends are. And that can be quite tough sometimes, but then at the same time, like you were saying earlier about kind of cutting toxic people out of your life, if they are your true friends, then they are going to support you, they are going to understand.
Exactly.
And I know for me, like with a couple of my close friends that I told, they were so lovely about it, and then just having them knowing and kind of understanding made me feel better, because then whenever there were times when I was feeling really anxious, I know that I could go to them and they would help me calm down, which was actually really nice.
And it's a really nice proof of your friendship in a way.
Yeah.
Like, I think that I appreciate my friends more now, like my 3 best friends from home. I love them so much more since I've got older and gone through more, because I'm like, I speak to them and they've maybe been through it, or maybe they haven't been through it, but they helped me so much, and I'm like, wow, I actually need you. Like, I really care about you in my life, and you really are so supportive. Like, my best friend Charlotte, she has a little boy, and I think her becoming a mum, I feel like I can genuinely tell her anything, and I'm like, you've had a baby like actually come out of you. I don't have that experience yet. One day I hope I do, but I don't have that, so I feel like I can literally be like, I'm coming on my period and I've got this and I'm worried about this. Like, I could be so open with her, and I'm like, I know she won't judge me. Because she's like, I've literally seen everything. And I'm like, I love being able to be open and honest. And I think that, like you said, it's a true testament of your friendship. And if there are people you can't tell, then it might be hard because you don't want to cut these people out. But actually, you now know you can break free from them and kind of be like, maybe you don't want to completely cut your friendship off, but you know now to keep them at a distance. Do you know what I mean?
And also as well, you don't have to tell your friends if you don't want to. You can tell a family member, you can just literally tell one person, you can tell your doctor, you don't even have to... You know, if you don't want to tell your parents, you could just go to your doctors and see what they say. And honestly, they've heard it all before. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. There's nothing to worry. Well, I mean, I was going to say there's nothing to worry about, but you know what I mean. So if one doctor doesn't understand, then try a different doctor. And I think they've heard it all before. They've seen it all before, and you don't have to worry about making a fool of yourself, because honestly, it's such a normal, common thing to go through. And I think, just talking about it more makes it seem more normal and more common, because it doesn't
make you a bad person for having anxiety. It doesn't change you as a person. If anything, you should be, you know, proud of yourself that you actually want to speak about it, because the more you speak about it and the more other people speak about it, the more we speak about it, the more other people aren't going to feel so alone.
Which is
that's
really
one thing
good.
I like. That's why I love doing story times, because I think that I can share with people and they might be like, actually, I've been through that. And that's not me saying like, I'm this sane, I've, you know, made loads of mistakes in my life. But I think that when people watch you and they're like, oh, I can relate to that. That's so important. I wish when I was younger, I watched more YouTube when I was growing up and had someone that I could relate to and feel like it's okay to be like this, you know? I think that, like you said about the doctor, my dad growing up, when I first put myself on the contraceptive pill, I would live with my dad, and he always said to me one thing. He was like, Imogen, please don't think that if this doesn't fit right with your body, that you're different. Because your friend might be on microgynon. You might go on microgynon and think, oh God, this isn't right for my body. And you have to put yourself first. And if there is a doctor that you don't feel comfortable speaking enough to, that's fine. Call up and ask for a nurse. You are fully entitled. Like when I was younger, I never wanted like men doctors really. I always wanted to speak to females, just because when I was growing up and you had like girly things. And I just think that it's so true. It's like makeup. It's like anything. It's like skincare. It's like friendship groups. You as a person have a completely different makeup to every single person. Something that you recommend, it might not be good for me. Something that I recommend, it might not be good for you. And I think that's part of growing, and I think that's part of life. And I think that anxiety is something like that. Your friend might not have anxiety about the same things. Like you have it about sort of travel related and stuff like that. I don't have that. I like traveling. Traveling actually helps me, like getting on trains and being like that. But I have different, like you're more comfortable to go to different events. I'm probably not as comfortable as you. So like we have it about different things, but it doesn't mean that we can't relate to each other
for sure.
about the actual topic. So I think that you have to understand that whatever you're going through, it's okay to feel like that. And the topic of anxiety is a massively broad topic. You can literally be anxiety, like people have anxiety. Like my dad, he kind of struggles with cleanliness, and he gets anxiety about the house being out of order because he feels like his life maybe isn't properly going in order.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, also my fiance, he loves to be clean. I mean, he packed my bag on the way today. Like, I love him so much. I'm so grateful for him because I am not organised. Maybe if I was more organised, my anxiety wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm so lucky I have him because he literally was like, you need this, you need your portable charger. And I was like, thank goodness for you, because otherwise I'd be on the train going, I've forgotten something. I'm going to see Soph and I haven't got my jumper on or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So I think that if there's something that helps you, go with that. And if talking about it and saying and openly saying to yourself, actually I do have anxiety and I'm okay, like it doesn't mean you're gonna be put in a room and they're gonna say you've got anxiety, stay in this room. Do you know what I mean? I think that we build things up in our head.
Yeah, definitely.
Like my little brother, definitely, he deals with a lot, my little brother, and he's amazing. He's honestly so inspiring to me, and he deals with a lot of anxiety. And watching him grow up, I've been like, oh my goodness. So we went to Disneyland. We went to Disneyland Paris, and my little brother's quite scared of roller coasters and stuff like that, and he gets anxiety about, like, what if I fell out, what if something, you know, and he's worrying about it, and he gets extreme anxiety where he builds it up to the point where he will actually basically make you think the roller coaster is going to break. Like, honestly, it's sad because I love him so much, but actually my dad and me were there, and we stayed there at this, it was the Slinky one, it's in the Toy Story land, it's the Slinky one that goes back and forth, but oh my goodness, you will actually laugh at this so much. We had to go up to the women that work at Disneyland, and we said, listen, my little brother is nervous about this and he's anxious, but I know deep down he wants to do it, because I know that we would have left Toy Story Land if he didn't want to do it. He was like, no, we have to stay here. And I was like, well, if you want to go on it, we'll stay here. And he was like, oh, I don't know. So then I basically got them to fib him a bit and say that it was one of the slower rides in the park. And I said, listen, you have to protect his little anxiety. When he gets on and he knows it's one of the fastest ones, he'll be so buzzing. But to help him, anyway, we stayed there for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours waiting to go on this ride. He went on it 3 times in a row. He went on it and we had to queue for 40 minutes each time. But once he did it, he came up and I went, I'm going to tell you the truth now. Please don't think that I lied to you about a lot of things, but I lied to protect you. I told you a little fib, but you just went on the second most fastest ride in the park. And he was like, I did it. And honestly, oh my God, I've got goosebumps now, I could cry. He actually did something he was so anxious about. And he said to me, the best feeling in the world is tackling something I don't think I can do. Isn't it? So like, you might build up in your head that you think you can't tell anyone, but you actually can. And we think of all the bad things that could happen. We're like, they're going to lock me away, or they're going to think I'm crazy. They won't. They actually won't. Like, it never turns out to be as bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was a bit anxious about being here today because I thought, I hope Soph likes it. I hope she's like comfortable enough and all these things, but it's fine. It's completely fine. Literally. But I was worrying, thinking, you know, we build things up. I just hope that you can, you know, speak out, because you've just made your first step now by speaking out to us. So go and talk to someone about it, because it is not, it's nothing negative, it's nothing bad. And the more you talk about it, the more you have a chance of helping yourself. So thank you.
Hi Imogen. I'm so excited for this podcast. I've always been rather anxious and I don't cope well with the stress, but now with my A-levels coming up in May, it seems to be taking over my life. Panic attacks and blackouts are becoming a regular thing and I want to stop getting worse before my exams. Do you have any advice on what I can do? P.S. Love you lots.
Thank you so much for sharing something so personal. Like, honestly, that is a really deep thing for you to be able to tell us. And thank you so much for saying you're excited about this podcast. I'm very excited about this podcast too, so thank you. So, I mean, what would you say to that?
Well, I think, firstly, if you are having blackouts and panic attacks and it's affecting your daily life, then I would say one thing is to definitely see a doctor if you haven't already. But if you have already spoken to a doctor, and obviously I know that it doesn't just get better instantly, and if it's still happening, then make sure your school are aware of it for a start, because there's definitely things they can do to help. And if you're maybe having panic attacks in exams, I don't know if you've had any mock exams yet, but if you feel like when you do go into your exams in a couple of months, you feel like you might have a panic attack, if you talk to your teachers, they might be able to do things like put you in a different room from people. Some people at my school had
They had their own separate rooms,
and just make sure they're aware of it, so that if it does happen, you know that they know what's going on, and they're not going to think that you're just doing it to get out of an exam or something.
I think that's so true. I think you need to definitely 110% speak to the school, because maybe even if you don't want to speak to the school, that's fine. Get your mum to do it. Get your mum or your dad to call up and just say, listen, so, you know, Imogen, just say it's Imogen.
Yeah.
Imogen doesn't really want everyone to know or anything like that, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. This is how she's feeling at the moment.
Yeah.
What are the steps that we can do? Because like you said, people can be in their own rooms. And also, they need to know because, you know, you need to be as protected as you physically can. If you're going to have panic attacks or blackouts, we need to be protecting you. So you need to put yourself first by telling the school, because then they can really help you.
Yeah.
Because really, they wouldn't be nasty about it and be like, you need to sit in that room. No one is going to put you in a place where you're not feeling comfortable. Don't you think?
Yeah.
And also, like, with the revision.
Yeah, I think also as well, if you are getting worked up about revising and just knowing that your exams are coming up, I would say that it's so important to make sure you're taking breaks when you are revising. Don't just spend your time solidly revising, because then that's all your brain is going to be thinking out. It's probably going to make you even more anxious about it. Yeah. Obviously, make sure that you're doing a good amount of revision, but make sure that you're taking breaks, doing things in between that are still fun, and taking your mind off it just to make you a little bit, you know, de-stressed a little bit. And also as well, I would definitely recommend, if you haven't already, making some sort of timetable.
I loved having some stability.
Yeah, because then I could plan out what subjects I was revising and when. I could plan my breaks.
Because otherwise it's just like too much.
Yeah.
Your brain feels frazzled.
And just writing down a plan of what to do helps you kind of like release some of that stress. And then you can look at your plan and be like, okay, I know what I'm doing today.
I don't need to focus on history today because it's not in my plan.
So that definitely helped me a lot.
Because otherwise it's just so overwhelming. And I think that, you know, like you said, you need to revise, but otherwise you need to also put yourself first. Like, your own health has to come first. So what helped me was, my parents would said, don't do anything before you go to bed. You're too tired. You're going to be awake. And also, it would be the case. I'd sit there doing my revision really late at night sometimes, and then at night I wouldn't switch off because I'm constantly thinking about what I've just been revising. It's going over and over in my head. So make sure you work to the best of your ability. Like, if you're better at night, then do your you know, revision at night or anything like that. But like you said, I think stability and structure helps so much, because otherwise you're like, I can't fit all this into one day. You can't. Like, you sometimes have GCSEs for like 11 exams, 11 different subjects. You can't do that all in one day. It's physically impossible.
And also as well, I think if you are revising till late at night, don't just do it straight up to the point where you go to bed, because like you say, then your brain will just be going over that. So if you are revising till quite late, because I found that sometimes I did actually work quite well in the evenings, but I would always make sure that I had a break before bed. So I'd have like some time to wind down before I went to sleep. And then if I was stressing, maybe my exam was the next day, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go get an early night so that I have a good quality sleep, because that's really important.
It's so important.
And then maybe just set my alarm a little bit earlier the next day, just so I can go over my notes again, because I think it's better to make sure that you're getting enough sleep. Wouldn't recommend pulling all-nighters for exams, because nothing goes in your brain.
It's not. It's actually pointless. You can't.
Yeah.
You're not going to pick it up because you're knackered.
Yeah.
You're like walking, talking, sleeping.
Yeah.
You know?
And I know it sounds so simple, but making sure you get a good night's sleep, staying hydrated, making sure you're eating properly.
Have a banana.
It
does actually help.
Because if you don't have food, your brain can't work properly. If you're dehydrated, your brain can't work properly. And if you're tired, then your brain can't work properly. So try your best to do those things.
I also think we build up anxiety about exams and stuff like that because we feel like there's a pressure to be perfect in school. When actually, I think that we have to understand that not everyone is going to be a mathematician, not everyone is going to be a historian, and that's okay. Like, I think that there are so many opportunities when you come out of school to really understand what you like. Like, there's so many colleges where you can do BTEC courses, there's so many different things. Some people like to go straight to work and you know, do apprenticeships, and that's not something you learn in school at the moment. So focus on doing the best you can. Like, not everyone is going to get A stars and A's, and that doesn't matter. Like, just because you don't get A stars and A's, no one judges you in later life. No one asks me at 26, what did you get in GCSE? I mean, I'd be buzzing to tell them. I'd be like, I got this, but no one cares.
I know. I think it's important to know that, yes, exams are important, but they're not the be-all and end-all of life. And also as well, something that I would always tell myself going into an exam is, okay, I'm going to do the best that I can possibly do, but if I fail, you can retake it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So just, I don't know, hopefully that can kind of help
Yeah.
to put your mind at ease a little bit. But yeah, it's
I think
definitely
we hype up the grades in our head that we're like, we need to get this, but not everyone can get that, and that doesn't mean you're not intelligent. Intelligence, there's so many different forms of it. Like, you can be artistic, you can be creative, you can be intelligent emotionally. Like, there are so many different ways that you are intelligent, you're talented. Some people are amazing at sports, some people, you know, you're still discovering yourself at school. You don't know exactly what your talent is yet, and that's okay. So don't put all this pressure on yourself to be, you know, the top of your class or anything like that. Do the best you can, go into that exam, but make sure you take the precautions beforehand, and make sure you go and speak to your school, because you don't want to be put in a situation where it's heightening everything, because exams are nerve-wracking for anyone. Even, you know, people that are really, you know, going to get all A stars, they're still nervous. They're still nervous, and, you know, there's still pressure that everyone puts on themselves. So make sure you're protecting yourself. Don't put yourself in an environment. I remember when I was at GCSE, I took my older brother's cuddly toy into the GCSE exam, and my teacher took it off me. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do that. So my mum called up and said, listen, she's going to be taking in a cuddly toy to every exam. You better know that's what's happening. And you're allowed to put things on your desk. You know, you're allowed to. And that sometimes that helped me, because I looked at him, his little cuddly toy, and I'm like, I've got this, you know, like, things that help you might not help someone else, but it's fine. So just make sure you're protecting yourself. Because it's not about, you know, Bob on your left and Jimmy on your right. It's about you. Do you know what I mean? Like, sorry, Bob, I don't care what you're getting. I care about myself. So you've got to put yourself first, and that's not being selfish. That's just your life, you know? So please definitely be speaking out and speaking to people. And if you don't want to, and you want it to be, you know, teachers aren't going to go and tell your whole school. So just make sure, you take... I think you're really good at advice, Soph.
Oh, thanks.
I actually really do. I'm really like, I'm not surprised, because I know you're really like calming and you're really good with things like that. Yeah, I think it's so nice, especially because when I'm on my channel and you're on your channel, you speak to your audience and I speak to mine, and we kind of speak our own things, but it's nice to hear other people's perspective on things.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I know that other people suffer anxiety, but it's nice to be able to talk through things and like just chat. So, it's been so nice to have you on today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God.
It's been really good, actually. I've really enjoyed it.
Have you? Okay, good. Is this like your first like podcast sit down?
Yeah, it's my first proper professionally produced podcast.
Oh my God, I hope you think it's nice that you think it's professional. We're like sitting there like, is it?
Oh, it is.
Amazing. Thanks so much for every single person who's listened and tuned in. Please make sure you subscribe to Getting Lippy With on your app of choice, and make sure you leave us a review, because it really, really does help us out. Go and follow Soph, because she's absolutely amazing. I'll leave everything down below. And this has been really exciting. I can't wait to have episode 3. We're talking about all things that you're going to find out on, if you follow Getting Lippy With on Instagram, because every single week we announce exactly the topic that we're talking about, and this is your chance to get involved. All you need to do is email hello@gettinglippywith.com your voice noted questions, so you can be played out loud and loving live. And we'll answer those questions. So make sure you're sending those as voice notes to the email, and make sure you subscribe. I'd be so grateful, because this is like a new adventure. And like, I really hope it does well. It's like a big risk. I'm like worrying, you know, like I hope it does well.
It's exciting.
I know, it's exciting. Okay, well, thanks so much, and I hope you enjoyed Getting Lippy With from me and Soph. Bye. Bye.